So Mamdani wants to seize all the apartment buildings of landlords who don't comply with whatever he says should be done in New York City. So if you're a landlord in New York City, just listen up. Here's what you need to do. This is real simple. Simple solution. While this guy's in office, what, 4, 6 years, whatever it is, you kick out all your tenants. Okay? Take your loss for the rest of the year. Then you sign leases with the federal government and you get to the Department of Defense and you put in the troops and you put in ICE agents in every one of your units and bill the federal government and not take in any of the New York City tenants. Kick them all out, put them out in the street, and lease your apartments to federal agents such as the FBI, troops, and ICE agents. Nothing he can do about it.
Yo, listen. I think that New York City and Los Angeles had already been the worst places to be a landlord. So if you were in real estate, unless you were a developer, you should have been getting out of Los Angeles and you should have been California. Forget Los Angeles, California, because not only are the laws slated in the favor of squatters, problem tenants, people that want subsidized housing, people that come from the projects, all of this stuff. It was so difficult to get people up out of there. And then on top of that, they had rent moratoriums, especially during the pandemic, where it basically put landlords and anybody, and I mean not just large buildings, but I'm talking about smaller buildings, smaller homes and stuff like that. It put everybody at a disadvantage because nobody could get evicted, and it didn't solve for the people paying rent. So on top of that, now you have a socialist mayor who is vowing to take people's properties that they pay property tax on. Some of these properties are paid for. They don't even have a mortgage or any financing on it. And so this guy is basically saying that if you're not abiding by whatever it is that he deems necessary for you to meet the expectation as a suitable landlord, then you can get your property taken and then seized, and then the city will then manage it and they will own your property after that. This is so crazy. It's bad enough that people can get their property seized from not paying their property taxes. Now we talking about taking people property. He didn't say we'll shut it down. He didn't say we're only going to fine them. He said we're going to triple dog dare fine you, and we going to charge what we going to charge in order to fix the problem. So we going to come in your building and do what we want to do from it and take it. And that's going to be ours. That's our building, not yours. That's mine's. This is crazy. I don't even know what year I'm living in. Am I living in the 40s or something like that, or am I living in the United States of America in 2025? I feel like I'm living in London or Venezuela or Cuba. What are we doing?
Absolutely nothing.
I told you Mom Danny was gonna win. Jeez, you know what's gonna happen now? Everybody and their mother are gonna leave. Everybody from New York are gonna start coming down here to Palm Beach and West Palm Beach, to all South Florida. You know why? Because people with money, well, hell, no one wants to be taxed. People with money and people without money, no one wants to be taxed. Today, Palm Beach, public Palm Beach in the island was full of people. It's super busy. Traffic, you started seeing that. You know, it reminds me what happened back in '61 after Second World War. East Germany built a wall. East Germany was influenced by the Soviet Union.
To keep
It was
people
communist. East Germany built a wall so people don't leave, don't go to West Germany, to the other side, because the other side was capitalist. So the same thing is going to happen here. They're going to have to build a wall around New York so people don't leave. So if you're in New York and you want to come here to Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, South Florida, you can reach out to me, my wife. We are realtors. If you want to see.
Nice way to capitalize off of the exodus of people leaving New York. There are a lot of people. I have a couple of friends that do business in New York, and they own properties, and they are saying that they are getting the hell out of New York because at this point, is just intolerable. Because here's the thing about New York that people don't understand. When people used to rock with New York, they used to do it because we didn't have the mobility that we have now, right? So Wall Street, you would have to move to New York because it was the financial capital of the world, right? And you actually had to go into your jobs, go into work, go into these places, and networking in person was important. And this is prior to social media, shit, almost prior to the internet, if you want to think about it. And then you had the culture, right? You had New York City, you had so many different cultures. You can, like, the city that never sleeps. It was a lot of money. The record labels was there. Hip hop was there. Food, all of that stuff. Manhattan was different. Times Square was different. And now New York has lost any kind of cultural relevancy. They don't have any culture. It's just dirty. So people were willing to put up with the rats. They were willing to put up with the trash problems. They were willing to put up with the cold, a lot of things, because there was so much more to be desired, so much more that you'd accomplish. And a lot of people would say, even a slogan, yo, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. It was a real thing. Now, people that got resources are saying, I ain't got to deal with this shit no more. I'm getting up out of here. Why should I have to subject myself to the worst of the worst? For what? For what? They can go anywhere that they want to go in the world, let alone in the United States of America. And now people are more educated. So you got, all of these different states that don't have income taxes, right? And you've seen a massive exodus from places like California, where California is really collapsing on itself. And this is one of the reasons why they're trying to leverage this subsidized healthcare from Obamacare to continue to try to fill some of the budget gaps in these states. And then they tried to leverage illegal migrants also. And then they, basically stealing money from the federal government. Entirely different conversation. But my point is that you don't have to be subjected to a place that you don't want to be in anymore. It's places with better weather. Other places have built up their infrastructure. They welcoming people that don't want to pay an egregious amount of taxes.
I don't know, properties to rent, to buy, whatever you want, we're here to help you.
Mom Donnie just posted a video saying that his first order of business on day one is going to be for the city to take ownership of people's private properties. And how is he going to go about this? First of all, he's going to make it so unaffordable for these landlords to make any repairs because of rent freezing. If you freeze the rent, then the landlords eventually won't be able to pay for the repairs because they're not getting the same income, they're not making the same amount of money as they used to. Number two, he's then going to give these people fines because they're not doing the repairs, and these fines are going to be huge. Then once the city comes back in and says, oh, you know what, you didn't do the repairs, you didn't pay the fines, we are now going to take your property because you are an unfit landlord. The city's going to take the property, seize it, take ownership, and then they're going to turn that property into subsidized housing. Who's that housing going to benefit? It's going to benefit criminals, it's going to benefit illegals, it's going to benefit the prostitutes, it's going to benefit all of the people that...
Basically, what they're telling you is that they want y'all to live in the projects.
Mom Donnie is going to let out of the prisons, and on top of it, there aren't going to be any police because that's his other order of business, is going to be to defund the police. Basically, Mom Donnie is turning New York City into a third world country. Meanwhile, white liberal women are literally like parading around, singing the Little Mom Donnie song, thinking that they did such a good job. When you live next to criminals and you're paying $6,000 a month and they're not, then we'll see how happy you are.
We don't even have to worry about it because it's so bad and it's such a social experiment. We've already witnessed the ways that they've, that they've been able to capitalize off of this in the first place. But no worries. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to keep y'all in the loop.